Hello, football lovers. Welcome to Footy with Podcast, episode 18. We're back again to talk about football. We were not here last week, but we're back again to talk about football. Football is back. Apparently, today was meant to be the last day of the EPL season, but we're happy that football is back. My name is Ahis Anthony once again, and I have my co-host. So I'll just pass on the baton for them to introduce himself. Tunde, take it up from there.
Hello, football lovers. It's good to be here again. Thank you all for listening. And very excited about the fact that football is back and opening up gradually. So yes, let's do it.
Yeah, hello guys. Welcome back to another episode. Yeah, everybody's happy that football is back, but not everybody's happy. Yeah, welcome to the show.
So
let's kick it up.
Yeah, so we're just diving straight up. Looking at the Bundesliga games. Wow. We saw the fixtures. I saw the highlights for the Dortmund Schalke 04 game. Those Schalke 04 guys are so rusty. They look so rusty. Our game was so dull and so drabby. I don't know about you guys, man. I don't know what you take on the game, man.
Yeah, I watched the game live, and that was one of the most boring games I've seen. It was it went in different ways. One of the ways that it went, which I'm sure we are not expecting or we are not excited about, is the fact that everybody was rusty. And I guess that's what it's going to be with football returning. Everyone is going to have to be fit.
We hope and we pray. We hope and pray everybody comes back fit. Chibuzo, what's your take? Did you see any of the games? The Bundesliga games.
See any of the games? I tried to play highlights online. I don't know, but kept telling me it couldn't be played in my country. I just abandoned it. But I heard that Haaland did a very weird celebration. And some people are attributing it to the fact that the stadium was empty. I don't know, but
yeah, the stadium was empty. It was an empty stadium.
So was that why he celebrated in that weird manner?
Well, Haaland.
Yeah, I believe it was exactly that. It was empty stadium. They were trying to celebrate while social distancing. That I don't know. That never looks right.
Oh, so they were trying to celebrate social distancing, but they were playing. I don't understand. So when the ball was in the air,
they were trying to celebrate. They were trying to celebrate while social distancing. So you stay this distance away from me. You stay this distance away from me, and yeah, it was completely weird. It was I don't know if that's the way it's going to continue, especially with the fact that those that were sitting on the bench were sitting about 6 or 7 feet apart from each other.
But when the ball goes in the air, nobody tries to challenge for the ball.
Oh no, they all contest for the ball.
Yeah, there were a lot of
contests.
They all play as usual.
That's less than 6 feet now. So what was the I don't understand. They all before coming back, they all know that they always say football is a contact sport. Football is a contact sport.
You can't take that away.
As bad as tackles, then you're now trying to do distancing. Please, they should just get on with the program and sit close to each other. What's the meaning of that?
For me, it just look, even novelty matches, with the hype, the glamour, the energy that comes with it. We all know, even if we know novelty matches are not that serious or not the kind of serious matches that goes on, but yesterday's matches were kind of like lesser compared to more of the novelty matches that we've watched in the past, because I just feel the energy wasn't there. Everything just looked so dull and again, the Schalke 04 guys didn't really impress me at all because they looked so rusty, and the Dortmund guys were just looked as if yes, they've been the one that have been fit throughout this period of the pandemic while football was not played, and everything just looked haphazard to me. This is not football, but it's a pity. This is the new norm. We just have to stick with it.
Yeah, I was, looking at that, and we know that the big teams are always going to have to find a way. Not always, but most of the big teams will find ways to keep their players active. Like we know, some of those in the EPL and Italian league and even Spanish league are doing. They're keeping their players fit. But what of teams that are not that big? Do they do the same? Do they do the same regime? Do they check up on players the same way?
They should use Zoom. Use Zoom. Even more is using Zoom.
But credit to Bundesliga, the guys officiate, the officials of Bundesliga, the non-playing staff. We saw all the preps towards game resuming. That was on Friday. Game resumed on Saturday yesterday, but we saw all the preparation, all the preps, everything. Ball boys having to disinfect the balls. Even while they were, while the coaches were being interviewed, you could see this. You could see the distance. You could see the long microphone that was being used, and most of the officials, the guys sitting on the bench, they were wearing the facial mask. Keeping to the rules, the WHO rules. But the question is this how it's going to be moving on?
This is how it's going to be now. This is how it's going to be because, yes, even if other countries are saying that we can't continue, we are crowning champions. So what if this thing continues till August? So what are they going to do? They should just start getting prepared and start watching the way German guys are doing it. Yes, no.
Yeah, because it looks as if they
I think.
Yeah, Sunday.
No, you go ahead, Ace.
No, you just sorry. You can go ahead.
No, just saying that it looks like if this is the way it's going to be, then it will just redefine the game. Yes, we can understand this being the way starting back up is, but everybody has to get back on programs. Everyone has to get back on the active routine and get back to it.
For me, I think the Bundesliga have set a precedent, being the first league to come back into action after the coronavirus pandemic. Like I mentioned at the start of the program, at the start of the podcast, today was meant to be the final day of the season in the EPL. So now so let's just switch straight to the EPL. So we know the whole preparations. With all due respect to Bundesliga, I think that's all we can talk about it. Yeah. So let's just switch directly to the EPL. We know the preparations in place, the project restart, trying to put things together. We know the EPL. They don't always want to come second. Neither do they want to come last. They always want to be the first. Are they going to? Yes. Are they going to take a cue from the Bundesliga, or they are going to come out better with a bang than what the Bundesliga guys have done?
To be better, they have to take a cue. Yes, no. For them to make any attempt to be better, so they cannot discredit what's happening in Germany. They have to see what's happening in Germany and ask themselves questions as to how they can be better. So Germany is the textbook for everybody now.
Yeah, and I agree with that because, the talking point, the main thing about that yesterday's game, which was supposed to be a derby, which was supposed to be a very interesting game, Schalke and Dortmund, was the fact that the Schalke players were clearly unfit. I'm pretty sure the Premier League will take you from that and do everything they can to make sure that all players that are returning, all teams that are returning, at least the players are at a certain degree of fitness for it to be a contest, for it to be interesting.
Yes, so that we can have that spice, added to it. Talking about fitness.
On the other hand, the people who need this return to football most is the small teams.
So why do you say that?
Because of revenue now.
Yeah, but
because I was listening to what was I listening to today when I heard that when you qualify to the second round of the Champions League, you have like 30-something million euros. And when I think the lowest team, the lowest teams in the Premiership make as much as 90-something million pounds from TV rights.
Yeah.
So they are the ones that need it more. The other guys, yes, they might not be able to write off. The other clubs can afford to be with debts and even write off. Okay, let's say they're supposed to write off to sponsors, etc. Maybe 2 billion. The big clubs can afford to write it off, or even use their brand as a way to say, okay, give me some time. You understand?
Yes.
But the small clubs, I don't think they can do that. They need that money. They need the money. Most of them have used last season's money to buy players, do this and that and all that. So to stay afloat, to stay afloat financially, and also to stay at the current status that they are, they need this. They really need this return to football. And I'll be surprised that a small team would say that because they didn't have resources and they were not able to train. Because I don't know, probably they didn't have that much of a vision or foresight as to what could happen, what would not happen, and to be fair, because you can't tell me they need it the most. They need the money.
Yes, they do.
Need the money. So you can't say if probably maybe what happened to the other team that played against Dortmund, probably maybe they started late. You understand? Maybe they stopped. I know the way fitness is now. So
Once
for example,
stop,
so when the COVID lockdown started, so maybe they didn't do anything for 4 weeks or for 3 weeks or for even 2 weeks, while probably the other team from day one, like someone like Mourinho, who was insisting that his personal trainers and other coaches should train the players using Zoom. You understand? I watched some of the videos. I watched some of the videos. Yelling, pick the ball up. Those normal drills. I saw Harry Kane, Ali, on Zoom. You understand? Sure you get. So I don't know, but any team, what this now ends up as being is that any team that did not work during this period, it will just show.
It will show on the field of play, definitely. It will show because.
You know the way football is. After first week, second week, third week, we'll get back to it. But nobody knows how many zeros they must have considered.
Yeah, crazy, man. Talking about fitness, because there's some people that have raised opinions about the project restart thing, considering the dates they've set, which is June 12th. So Steve Bruce, the coach of Newcastle, and also the loan player, the Tottenham player that's been loaned out to Newcastle, Danny Rose, they voiced an opinion that, hey, they should have a rethink concerning fitness, because having seen what happened yesterday in the matches that were played while the Bundesliga resumed, the issue of fitness came up. That, hey, why don't you give us time? Give us another 3 weeks. Let us think about it, like reschedule this start of date or kickoff date so that players can be fully fit. Do you think this is viable for them to consider?
I think they give them notice now. They give them about 3 weeks notice or even a month notice now.
Yeah, but is the 3 weeks enough? That's why they're asking for additional 3 weeks.
This just points to the fact that I was trying to make earlier. The point I was trying to make earlier, like we know that some big teams have the resources, and we're checking up on players, making sure that players have been working non-stop all through this whole period. Yes, they're playing together with but making sure that each player is fit, making sure that each player continues their work, their routine, making sure that they are active regularly, not just in the gym but at home, keeping them on a tight schedule. That some teams may not have that. And
there might be challenges.
It just highlights exactly. So if Newcastle is having the challenge, if a player from Newcastle is saying the same thing that his manager is saying, it means that they've not kept to this, and everybody just need to get back on, and that's why they need some more time, because as you know, it's going to show on that first day.
It will.
How many zeros people will take?
It will, man. Because I know teams like
who is Newcastle playing next?
I don't know, man. We'll have to check that out.
That's going to
be because I know teams like Liverpool, they've started. Liverpool, Tottenham, like you mentioned, Jose Mourinho following up on players. I know Arsenal.
Man United did not even stop.
Man United didn't stop as if they wanted to win the league. They've been training throughout this as if they're contesting for the league. So like Chibuzo mentioned, which I would concur with, because this would favor the big teams, which the top big teams. But will it favor the lesser teams? I doubt it, and it won't, because we don't know who Newcastle will be playing. So, for instance, if Newcastle is playing Liverpool next, we don't know who they are playing. We'll have to check. But imagine they're playing Liverpool have 2 more games to win the league. That's like a walkover for Liverpool, without even stressing. Yes, it's a walkover, and they win the league. They win that match. They're just 1 match away from winning the league. So, I'm of the opinion of Steve Bruce and Danny Rose. Hey, you guys, think about it. Give us 3 more weeks and let us see how we can be in top shape and come back competitive while the league restarts. But there's something everybody's leaving out. Nobody's talking about when the next season will start. Or are they missing it out? Or am I the only one thinking in that direction?
They have to start this one now. So you can't say, for example, now the German guys now can say, okay, with the number of matches that we have, and we've started on 17th or 16th of May. Okay, it means that we'll be able to finish at XYZ time, and then we can give a certain number of rest, and then we can now start talking about. But the Premier League has not started yet. That's going to start on 12th, and people are still saying 12th is like almost like a month from now.
Yes.
And some people are still saying
give us
3 weeks. You can't talk about next season yet until it starts.
And I mean, with the fact that there was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, there was supposed to be Euros this year, right?
Yes.
So that has been ruled out.
It's been ruled out.
Yeah, so, and also with the World Cup that's supposed to be in December this year, that would have affected the football calendar. So I'm sure that all of that is being into consideration, the start of the season, when World Cup will be, Champions League and all of that. So the start of the season is not priority right now. It's to see how to finish the season.
It's what is, and just crown Liverpool as champions. So I think they are also. Well, that looks like that seems to be the aim.
You want to crown Liverpool champion? They just cancel it and crown them champions.
Because that seems to be the aim. Because
that's true. I mean, they should just cancel it and call them champions, give them trophy, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some bad belly and some stubborn heads.
Yeah.
Not at that. So.
Well, I think the Premier League, they're trying to. They understand fitness as well. I think that was why they brought the rule of having to each team being able to have up to 5 substitutions in a match. I think they know that fitness level can never be the same. So that's why they're trying to make all these modifications in terms of the rules that applies to the game. Okay, we all know the FIFA rule is 3 substitutions per game. So you're now trying to give the option for a team to have like 5 substitutions per game. I think they today are considering the fitness issue that we mentioned earlier. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Fitness is definitely going to be an issue. The German League showed it with all teams doing 5 substitutions. Well, Bayern Munich did 3 substitutions today, but with everyone doing 5 substitutions, fitness is definitely an issue.
Okay.
Probably 5. Well, I don't know the rules that the EPL is doing, but 5 substitutions can actually help. Can actually help if they are not going to reduce the time. Time is sacrosanct on 90 minutes. So I don't know the rules that they brought in, but another idea would be to increase the number of subs. That's if you change 5 players in the team, that it means that you can actually still get it good.
Yeah. So another thing that they're putting in place, 440,000 home testing kits. Players will be tested repeatedly. Players and officials also will be tested repeatedly. And so that we don't have any case of someone coming out positive for coronavirus and infecting other players. I think all these are good moves. Good moves for us to have football back fully, the EPL. And I have one question because Nigerian league, we don't know anything about it because I don't even know why they've not called theirs null and void. Because I really don't understand. We understand the EPL. There are a lot of financial considerations put in place, but for the Nigerian professional league, we don't know. There is nothing in sight. So why can't they just call it off and let us everybody shake hand and say kumbaya and go home?
I wish there was a representative here to answer that question. But for now.
But just to touch light, is there any news, Tunde? Is there any news concerning the league over there in US of A?
Oh no, everything is still shut down. There's no, they're not trying to. Yes, some states have reopened, but everybody is smart enough and wise enough to know that it is not wise to reopen or start any mass gathering anytime soon. So, yeah, that's where it is right now.
Wow. MLS. We will be come back soon as well. So there was this issue of training sessions, players not tackling each other, not contesting for the ball. That didn't sound correct to me, man.
What training session is that? Whose club?
All clubs. Project Restart. This Project Restart thingy for the EPL. So there are some guidelines that they've put in place.
Hey, we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I'm actually watching Wolves training session, and you guys are you guys are serious.
Are they tackling each other? Tunde, can you hear me?
For real?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
They're not really not many players though. On their website.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's just muted. Just went muted. Yeah, so Project Restart saying, hey, players can tackle each other, distancing, you can't contest for the ball, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Are those the rules?
Yeah, you have to look away when you're trying to make a tackle.
They are not rules, but they're just like guidelines. Part of the. I think.
Guidelines? Tackle is part of football now. Like
seriously, man.
Player with tackle. Like
Yeah.
you can't even. I don't understand. You can't even change down. You can tell them not to, but they will still. So someone is just running. I'll just leave him to go and score like that.
You leave it.
I'll just see Salah running fast, just past me like this, and I'm chasing him. I'll just escort him to the post. Or get kept sliding.
Or if you want to slide him, look away.
Look away and slide, and or even wear mask to slide. Oh, no, this is going to be very, very weird.
It is, man. So we'll just. I think the next meeting that we're having will be tomorrow, Monday, 18th May. So a lot of things will come out of the meeting because they've scheduled a couple of meetings or a couple of the things that they're looking at coming out. So Monday, 18th of May, the next Premier League meeting. Same Monday, 18th of May, Premier League players may return to initial group training under social distancing protocols. 25th of May, UEFA deadline for leagues to have finalized plan for restarting the season. And 1st of June, government date for possible return of elite sport behind closed doors in England, UK. And 12th of June, Premier League aiming to return with fixture. So there's a guideline already. So there is no turning back. With this, there is no going back. Football will come back to the UK, to England, and all of us will be happy. Final thoughts on that before we move to the next story.
Final thoughts. Let it start with all this. We're getting used to it. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I don't see all of us will be happy, but it will be back.
But we'll just have to cope with the first setup, because I know the first and the second sets of matches, they will be very, very boring, very, very boring.
Yeah, the
We should-
first two matches.
Yes, the first,
Match.
yeah, match day 1 and match day 2 after lockdown will be very, very boring. We just have to get used to it, and hopefully, we pray Liverpool lose it. I hope Liverpool lose. All Manchester United fans will be praying Liverpool lose their remaining matches, so they don't get crowned champions.
Hey, when people were fit, they were beating people. It's now that you want to be praised, you know. Oh God.
No, I don't even care anymore. Yeah, we have a reason why they won the league.
Okay, so we just look straight up into the next discussion. I know I would have wanted a full house. I would have hoped we had a full house. So that we can just, exhaust all options. But the three of us were okay. We can still do that on Footy with Podcast. This issue of Van Dijk being the best EPL defender ever.
Oh Lord.
I know today.
Why?
I am in today's mind already.
Walk
I know Tunde's thoughts
walk
already, but yeah, it's been sensational. We came into the EPL, especially Liverpool. Liverpool won the Champions League, and now they're on the verge of being crowned champions, EPL champions. So there's a track record. There was a time the whole of the season his first season. Yeah, his first season he went without being dribbled. There was this start of he hasn't been dribbled. Not until that the Japanese guy came and did the needful. But on Footy with Podcast, let's just look at now the RB Leipzig guy now, Shay, when he did the unthinkable and turned him in and out. Pepe also did his.
Minamino.
Yeah, Minamino. Pepe also did his own too when his first match against Liverpool last season. Yeah, but I want us to look at it. Is Van Dijk the best EPL defender ever?
No.
Yeah, if you say no.
How many seasons has
Easy, no.
A big now. As I don't understand, how many seasons he can for God knows next season get a career threatening injury, and that's the end of Van Dijk on the face of the earth of football.
True.
Happy?
Yeah.
Or he can get the
People are just being emotional.
He can be caught for doping.
True. No, yeah, they are all valid
There are
points.
too many things that can still happen.
Yeah, so many
That's what
things.
I can see happen now. How many seasons has he played? Wow. When there are guys like John Terry.
I wonder, like, in the midst of all of these people,
In fact,
you
Terry
call
said,
one person that had.
But don't you think there's
that
something?
had
Don't you think?
one good season?
Yes.
One good season.
But
you know how many
don't.
good seasons Terry had? Do you know how many years Chelsea played being scored the least in the league?
I think there's another defender you're leaving out. Oh, there's several central defenders I can mention. Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Sol Campbell, Tony Adams, Martin Keown, John Terry.
See, for me, out of all these people that you called them, for me, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but John Terry was mad. John Terry was out of this world. John Terry and Carvalho, hey gosh, come and see
Yeah, that Terry Carvalho
Come and score now, let's see now.
partnership. Well, didn't they go what? Only conceding 8 goals, or that 8 or
Yes,
10
now there
goals
was a
in
time
a
they
season? In a
Yes,
whole
now.
season with Champions League and all of that. Come on now. What are we saying? What's his name? Van Dijk? Because of what exactly? Because they are on the verge of
Being crowned
winning
champions. Yeah.
of
the
being
league
crowned champions
for the first time
after 30 years. I don't understand.
after 30 years. They've won one Champions League in how many years? and we're celebrating Van Dijk as the greatest defender ever. Come on, that's it. Why don't we call Sergio Ramos the greatest defender ever? I mean, they won Champions League
Like,
three times in a row,
We're
right?
zoning.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
zoning. We're
Sergio
zoning.
Ramos.
No, sorry guys, we're zoning on
Oh,
the EPL
EPL.
alone.
Oh, sorry.
Because if you're to say in the whole of Europe, come on, that's suicidal, man. Come on, you don't say that. But let's for the benefit of the doubt, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's look at the EPL. There is every tendency he could be the best defender in the EPL. There is every tendency that he could, or he is the best defender in the EPL, because ever since he joined Liverpool, granted he has steadied the ship, steadied Liverpool's defense's ship. He has done everything possible that he could. Yes, we know, but like you mentioned, so what if he keeps doing this consistently?
Yes, until then, it's too early. This is just all this thing that English press does. One,
It's
and
the
also,
English press. Thank you.
that's one, and two, Liverpool, the unbearables, like what do they call them? The whatever. They're just talking all over the place. You understand? So that's just why I see it happening. It's not how many has he played up to 5 years?
Well, this is the second year,
Second year.
but first full year for Liverpool.
First full year, yes.
Yeah.
No, second full year. Oh.
No, sorry, second full year. Sorry, apologies.
Second full year, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No,
I
that's
think we're
what I'm
just
saying.
being hasty, and it's not us. It's Liverpool, and they're trying to control the media, trying to make it seem like
It's not like
they have the greatest player ever.
It's not like we're doing bad Beleo. Nothing.
It's
If
not.
if,
It's just
if he plays well for the next 3, 4 years.
He needs to do it for the next 5 years, at least.
No. Why I mean it's
how
2,
is it,
3
like
years.
27, 28?
2, 3 years. Then we can now start talking about this guy is close to
He's a legend.
being a legend. Just like when Rooney started playing for Man U now, just start saying from first to second season that he's going to break Alan Shearer's record. He has not even played anything. I've said talking. Guys, calm down. Liverpool fans, calm down.
So Van Dijk is 28 years of age. 28. He's 28 this year. Yeah, and he has. Come on, let's cut him a slack a bit, because ever since he joined Liverpool, he's the captain of the Dutch national team. You see what they've done in the European Nations tournament. They went. They lost to Portugal in the final, and we see his own personal achievement as well. He won. He came second. He was named UEFA Men's Player of the Year. He was a runner-up Ballon d'Or and Best FIFA Men's Player. So there is a bit of progression. In his first 2 years at the top English team. So the question now is, during the first 2 years of John Terry, during the first 2 years of Nemanja Vidic, during the first 2 years of Rio Ferdinand, during the first 2 years of Sol Campbell in a top flight club, did they achieve this? Or were they able to achieve this?
Yes.
Because I just want us to wait. Because there's every likelihood he is the best EPL defender ever. Because right now, he's close to being crowned champions. Liverpool, they've not done it in 30 years. Van Dijk, ever since he came in, he's making Liverpool win the league. Liverpool started conceding lesser goals. The defense is rock solid. So there's a bit of a point there, to be fair on him. Because really, I doubt if these guys ever did. The guys I've mentioned, the old guys, I doubt if they have ever achieved, or if they achieved what Van Dijk has achieved already in his first 2 years in the top flight. Now, granted, his record in Celtic too is there. He won major honors too while he was a Celtic. Let's don't forget that. I just want us to exhaust all possible
zeroing
options.
in on their time in the Premier League, right?
Yes.
Focusing on the time in the Premier League.
Yeah.
In Vidic's first 3 years in the Premier League, he won the league. In John Terry's first 3 years in Chelsea, He definitely won the league. So Campbell's first 3 years in Arsenal, he definitely won the league.
His first year at Arsenal, he won the league.
Okay, so what? He's getting to he's breaking into that category, into that sphere of great defenders.
Yes.
No one is taking that away from him.
Yeah.
He's getting to that place of great defenders. How long can he sustain this? Again, I say we're being emotional because, and people that brought this up are being emotional because this is I mean, it's just like saying De Bruyne has had a good season. No, not even this season. Like, was it last season or 2 seasons ago where that De Bruyne was fantastic?
Yeah.
It's like saying, De Bruyne is the greatest midfielder ever because of that one season. He's had injury plagued his season. He has a good season this season that just ended. I mean, that's that we're in. But we've not seen that consistency because of injury. Doesn't stop the fact that he's a great midfielder. But you saying, or anybody saying that Van Dijk is the greatest defender, EPL defender ever because of a few seasons, that's taking it too far. That's taking it too far.
Chibuzo.
I've said my own. I don't know what to say again. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I don't care. It's just like when Dijk came to Premiership and that first season, to see the tackles, to see the desire, the passion, and then say, oh, alas, he thereby
the greatest ever defender.
Thereby see the face of the greatest defender in the EPL. Come on now. Why are we just doing? I don't know. Is it because of? I don't know. Is it because of millennial fans or I don't understand?
Like someone said, sorry for calling. Like someone said on Twitter, like all you guys, on this rant of Van Dijk being the best EPL defender ever. It shows you guys haven't watched EPL in the past. You've not seen the likes of Vidic. You've not seen the likes of Rio Ferdinand. You've not seen John Terry. You've not watched them live. Probably what you're seeing.
No, not even watch them live. Watch them recorded. Watch is watch. Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah, just go back and watch some of those games.
But there's a difference.
Can you remember that? I can remember matches where where defenders will use their heads to come on, put your head on the line. How many people can do that today?
Watching us
No,
now.
they'll tell you that just use your mind to play.
Let's go out of the EPL. Should we go out of the EPL where Franz Beckenbauer broke 2 ribs?
Wow, Maldini, yes, Maldini breaking his. Yeah, we have a lot of stories to.
Let's not make our forefathers look like they are fools now. It's true now. Those guys, they played with iron studs. They played with grass.
True man. So
because of someone's just, please let's stick to using our stats. Use your stats. Okay, at least stats don't lie. Use your stats and judge. Period. This is making a mockery of the people who are in the Hall of Fame of the EPL. It's making an absolute mockery of them.
Yeah.
And most of them will come on TV and they won't say what we are saying. Why? Because of what they call these social justice warriors and backlash culture that is prevalent to social media these days. Someone can just call, so Amber can just come and just say what we are saying and Twitter, everybody start attacking. They won't do that.
They'll lash.
But the truth is the truth. It's too early. It's just too early. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just early. What are we saying now? In my office, we have a group for football. We talk about football, and they listed 5 defenders: Terry, Company, Van Dijk, Ferdinand, and Vidic, and that they should be rated. I'm like, guys. First of all, we all know that people who put this thing online are just looking for controversy and looking for talk.
Yes, true.
Looking for controversy, I just want to cause excitement. We know all these things now, social media. Just let them to talk. It's engagement. It's Instagram. Always, keep your content online and show it to more people. But first of all, that stand, that's I was telling them in the office, that in the group, was that these defenders, they're even different type of defenders. There was a ball passing defender there, 2 ball passing defenders, Ferdinand and Dijk, 2 stoppers,
yeah, Vidic and John Terry. They fall into that category, yeah.
You can now add company too.
Yeah, company.
The company, I think company is more like is more between a stopper or interceptor. There are the 3 types. There's the ball playing, there's the interceptor, and there's the ball playing, interceptor, and the
stopper, there's stopper too. Someone that can take the ball out from defense, yeah.
No, the person that takes that from defense is the ball playing.
It's the ball playing, ball playing.
Altini, Ferdinand, even Van Dijk. You understand? So I was on that point. I was like, no, these guys shouldn't even, compare these guys. So they were like, I'm being a killjoy. It's just to compare. Then somebody went and now brought Vidic's best season and brought Van Dijk's best season, and he could not. Yes, he's getting there, but his stats could not overpower Vidic's stats. I think I have the picture. He couldn't overpower Vidic's stats. So numbers don't lie. Just all this is just sentimental talk, football content. There's no football to post. Let's just create content. Let's post it. Let people know. Yes, now it's true now. It's true now.
Crazy, man. Just to segue a bit, because it happened to go into the NBA as well. During Jordan years, the time Jordan used at the NBA, when he got into the NBA, there was a time they were trying to compare him with the likes of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and what they told him was, "Hey, dude, you don't have a ring, so you can't fall into this category. Win a ring, win a title, then you can now say, okay, we can now see how we can put you in that pedestal." Though Jordan, throughout the rest of his career, he went on to win 6 rings, which he also, toppled or won more rings than the Larry Birds and the Magic Johnson.
Other guys.
Yes, but he was able to do it. So I think, true, I have to, stick with what you guys have said.
And somehow, it's good to put all these things in the right perspective.
Yeah, true.
We're in the age of social media. You can just easily just say anything, but it's always good, to keep the achievements of people in the past as where they are supposed to be. So
where they're supposed to be, yeah. You
understand? Check out if they all said, oh, he's the best, blah blah blah. Do you think he would have had that determination to get those things? So I think first of all, it's a disservice to our forefathers, to the guys who have played this game when it was absolute trash. Trashy pitches and all that, and then because someone is playing well, please allow him to break the record first. It's just like Guinness Book of Records. I can do this or I can do that to story. They have to come there and see you do it. If you like, do it, put video, send to them, post it online or go on social media. If you like, do Insta Live where you are using your head to break 1 million eggs. That one is not their business. They must send people there. They must send their umpires and their judges there. So for us now, the judge in this case is time. We need to allow the judge of time to take his course. That's
true. Well said. Like they say, numbers don't lie, and numbers make sense in real context because the stats are there. John Terry, Vidic, those guys have been phenomenal. Watching Arsenal Chelsea back then, the person I hate to see is 1, John Terry, and 2, Lampard, because the Lampard, the defense, I hate to see John Terry. The midfield, I hate to see Lampard. And then up front, seeing Drogba, it was hell. John Terry putting his head, sticking his head. There was a match, the Carabao, no, it's not Carabao Cup. It's called this other third, it's EFL now. Carling Cup. It used to be called Carling Cup. You saw the tackle that John Terry went for, that he passed out.
Yes, sir.
The tackle. Then when it was a corner kick, Diaby wanted to, hit the ball into the net. John Terry stuck his head out and he passed out. He was sent to the hospital. And I don't see these defenders do that. Defenders of nowadays, I don't see them do all this. The Van Dijk, you can't say at the end of the 90 minutes, Van Dijk is still looking like a fine boy, clean boy. Like I think we've said it all. We should wait. We're not saying he's not a good defender, but hey, wait a bit, man. Break those records, then you can now sit or put you on the pedestal of those great defenders in the EPL. That's our final judgment. So on this day, Samet is not around, but she sent in the on this day moment. I think this is interesting. She always have a go at Arsenal. Damn, always. Samet. On this day in 2006, Barcelona became champions in Paris. Guess what? Who did they defeat in the Champions League final?
Arsenal. Lehmann. The man of fame. The actor.
Samet. I can't wait for next week for you to be on the podcast. Well, she just had to balance it, which is cool. The second on this day moment was Arsenal did the invincible.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay. Samet, nice one. I won't fight you on that. So yeah, how time flies. By the end of the podcast, today's podcast episode, Footy with Podcast, I think it's time for us to just round off with our parting shots. Sunday, you could just.
Yo, well, it's been great. It didn't seem like we've talked a lot, but yeah, whole hour is gone already. But Van Dijk is not the greatest defender ever. Everybody needs to chill. Yeah, thank you guys for listening today. I hope to do this again next week.
Yeah, guys, thank you for showing up, and we too, we had to show up too. Sorry for not coming online last week. We promised to keep this coming. Apart from that, yeah, we are hoping to see the EPL come back, to see all the preparations, to see the guidelines, to see how everything pans out. We're also keeping our eyes on the German league to see, everybody's learning. And I just give thumbs up to the Germans for being for taking the risk to be pace setters in this, because it will be on record that the best guys to come back to football were the Germans, and the world learned from them. But also, I'm also wishing that there are no complications. I'm also wishing that there are no repercussions or anything that would mar or make ugly, this brave act of the Germans. Once more, thank you for joining the podcast today, and we'll be happy to see you guys next week.
Yeah. Nice one. So, it's Spartan Shots. You can follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram at FootyWheat, Instagram at Footy_Wheat, Twitter. We're also on Anchor. We're also on Anchor. We're also on Google Podcast. You can listen to our episodes or podcasts there. And we're also on YouTube. You can also watch and listen to our podcast there. My name is Ehis Anthony. Please stay safe. COVID-19 is real. Please do everything possible. If you're going to work, please follow all the WHO guidelines and do the best. It's au revoir from us. Stay safe and have a good week ahead. Ciao.